Good morning, children. Today's date is 24th of August and the year is 2021. Today's day is Tuesday, and in our literacy class we'll be revising the new topic that we did yesterday. Yes, we'll be revising what are fiction books and what are non-fiction books. Yeah, we're going to study about fiction and non-fiction. So we are going to study about books. So there are two types of books. There are books which are fiction and there are books which are non-fiction. Okay, so let us study first what is a fiction book. Okay, now fiction books are imaginative stories. Yeah, they are created by the author. They are not real stories. They are imaginative. Okay, they are not about real people. They are real characters, but they are made by the author. Okay, the fiction stories can sometimes sound true. Yeah, they sound true. But they are only stories which are read for enjoyment. Okay, so these are fiction books. Fiction books, the stories are not real. Okay, they are imaginative and we read it mostly for the sake of enjoyment. What are non-fiction books? Okay, so you please understand the two terms, the fiction book and non-fiction book. What are non-fiction books? Non-fiction books are about real people. Yeah, they're about true events, about real people, real events taking place. Yeah, the information that is given about those people, those things, those events are true. Yeah, because why they are true? Because they are based on facts. We'll understand all this better when we actually see a book. So I will show you a fiction and non-fiction book as well. But just in brief, let us just study what a fiction book and non-fiction is about. Okay, so these are non-fiction books. So to make things easier, what is a fiction book? Fiction book is not real. Yeah? The stories have not happened in reality. They are not real stories. Okay, they are imaginative stories. And what is a non-fiction book? Non-fiction means it's real. The information given is true. Okay, just like here. Okay, so we have many times heard story about teddy bear. Yeah, you heard the story about Goldilocks and the three bears. So that storybook about Goldilocks and the three bears is a fiction book. Why is it a fiction book? Because it is an imaginative story. It really did not happen. Yeah, it was an imaginative story where even the animals, the bears was talking, they were speaking. Do bears actually talk in our language? No, they have their own language to talk. But in the book they were talking just like us. Yes, so that is a fiction book. It was an imaginative story. It was created by the author. It did not actually happen. But then there are books about real bears who stay in the jungle. Yeah, about polar bears who stay at the poles, the North Pole and the South Pole. Yes, so when we are talking about those bears, the real bears, and some real photographs of them are there, we learn about them, some real facts, yeah, some truth about them, where they stay, what they eat, how they live. All this is discussed in a non-fiction book because they are not imaginative. They are real books. They talk about real animals and what is actually happening with them, about actual facts. Okay, so this was a difference between a fiction book and a non-fiction book. So here I have a chart which can briefly explain what is a fiction and what is a non-fiction. Okay, so let us study what is a fiction. What are fiction books? Fiction books are made up by the author and are not true. They are not real. Yes? They are imaginative stories which are made by the author. Sometimes you also make some imaginative stories, right? About a fairy, about a dragon, yeah, about a witch. Yeah? So these stories are about imaginative people. These stories have not actually taken place. These are not real stories. Yeah, they have not taken place in the past. They have been created by the author. It is the author's imagination. Yeah, and in fiction stories, even the animals speak. Yeah, in real life, do animals speak in our language? No, they have their own language to speak. And then there's magic in the story. So these are all imaginations. This doesn't actually happen in real life. Yes? So fictions are books about stories which is usually for enjoyment and which are not true. Yes, so they have stories about witches, about unicorns, about aliens, about fairies, yes, about princess and prince. Okay, so that is a fiction. Fiction means not true. Okay, so simply you have to remember one thing. What is a fiction book? Fiction book are stories which are not true. Now coming to what is non-fiction. What is non-fiction? Non-fiction books are about real things, real people, real animals, real events and real places. Yes? So non-fiction books are everything real, are about everything real. Okay? So the books can be about animals, it can be about places. Yeah, and when they speak about animals, they'll have real pictures of animals. And they'll speak about facts. What are facts? Facts means reality about the animals, the real things, the truth about those animals. Okay, it can be even about history. Yeah, history about a place, about a country. It can be about different modes of transport. Yeah, you have small books. So you can have books about different kinds of boats. So that book will have real pictures of boats. It will talk about some facts, about some features about the boat and how it is made and what it is used for. So it is not imaginative. Yeah, so non-fiction books are not imaginative. They are real. And non-fiction books can even be about people. Yeah, so those books are called biography. Biography means it's a story about a person, about his real life, about the different events that took place in his life. That's a biography. Okay, so this is the difference between fiction and non-fiction. Fictions are books which are not true, and non-fiction books are about real people, things, animals, events and places.